What's up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 9 in my 14th annual 31 Days of Horror, a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October, leading right up to Halloween. And still a little bit sick, but working through it. So today's movie is probably the first time I've reviewed a DVD in a while. And that movie is Frankenfish from the year 2004. Do not be dissuaded by the cover and the title, because this movie is actually pretty solid. I believe this was like a Sci-Fi Channel original film, or at least it became like a Sci-Fi Channel exclusive or something, because I remember seeing this on the Sci-Fi Channel and thinking it was pretty good. This is also one of the earlier DVDs I ever picked up. So the film basically starts with this man being attacked and a body washing up, and then we are introduced to our lead character, Sam, who is a medical examiner. Probably a little miscast. It's this guy on the cover. He just seems like too young to be involved in this profession. But he is a likable character. I just feel like he doesn't fit the role really. And a biologist named Mary, and they're down in the bayou investigating this event, and they end up meeting some other people that is part of the fishing village, and long story short, there's more attacks, and they start trying to figure out what's going on, and then one night they are basically on these two houseboats, and they're just attacked by this giant mutated fish that's a cross between a snakehead and something else. And that's basically the plot. This movie is super enjoyable. The pacing's good, the entertainment's good, the setting is really awesome, the characters are stupid, quirky stupid, where they're kind of caricatures of southern people and stuff like that, and pretty funny. And then there's a lot of carnage. And there is a lot of CGI, most of the attacks are CG, but there are actually a little bit of practical effects too, so I really appreciate that about the movie. And it almost becomes sort of like a siege film, or an isolated, contained horror film where these characters are just trapped in this area. And at one point they actually kill one of the fish, and they essentially gut it, and then another one shows up, and then you're like, oh crap, is there a bunch of fish? And honestly, there's a little ending scene with a character who gets just screwed up, the final scene in the movie, sort of the stinger, which is really fucking cool and funny, and it's kind of brutal too a little bit. But yeah, there's all kind of characters here in this one. There's the lead, the other girl, there's a bounty hunter, there's this old couple who are sort of bayou people and stuff. There's lots of attacks and a bunch of pretty decently shot water stuff where characters being drug away. The movie itself is just way better than it has any right to be. The Sci-Fi Channel was such this era of sci-fi was really awesome because they tried to make good movies. It wasn't until 2006-07 where the Sharktopuses and stuff started happening, where they just was let's just make the worst movies we can and people will think it's funny. These movies were actually tried to be decent movies, but they also knew that they're not going to win any Oscars or anything. So I've always appreciated stuff like this. And this is one of a handful of films that came out in 2004 from the Sci-Fi Channel, or that aired on the Sci-Fi Channel that I remember watching. Another one would be Snakehead Terror, which is another sort of straight-faced horror movie. But yeah, so that is Frankenfish from the year 2004. I recommend checking it out if you never had. Despite the title, it's actually a pretty solid movie. So With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you tomorrow with another one. Peace.